Okay, so I decided to watch the Cameroon Comoros second round match at the Africa Cup of Nations this evening because there's a backstory to this match involving the Comoros squad. Their starting goaltender, their number one goalkeeper, goes down injured in their last group game, their 3-2 win over Ghana. Their second string goalkeeper obviously replaced him during that game. They win the game. However, the two other goalkeepers in the squad have both tested positive for COVID, alongside 7 other members of the playing squad, plus the coach, plus a whole host of backroom staff. And they weren't given time. Well, one of their goalies did obviously test negative. However, under current um, current rules, wasn't allowed to be in the squad because there was not enough time in between his positive test and not enough negative tests for him to play. So they had to play one of their left backs in goal. It's finished 2-1 to Cameroon. The first half wasn't a great first half. There is a red card in there. We can discuss the VAR side of things. But the second half was actually very, very entertaining. And Comoros were down to 10 men for 80 odd minutes of the game. Their goal is brilliant, by the way. And Cameroon's second goal is also equally as brilliant. But the backdrop to this, I think FIFA for the World Cup, they're going to have to, I think, increase squad sizes to avoid a farce like what Comoros have had to go through in order to even get this game played. There was a fear they wouldn't even be able to play this game. And I do think FIFA, when it comes to the World Cup in Qatar, are going to have to look at squad sizes to make sure something like this doesn't happen again. I know it's a very, very unlikely event. However, yes, the fact this match got played at all is amazing, but what we've seen in European club football, with the amount of postponements across all the leagues, squad size rules are going to have to be looked at, and I think FIFA are going to have to look at it for the World Cup in Qatar. Now, let's talk about the game. Comoros actually had more shots on target than Cameroon, so created more with a lot less possession and down to 10 men, remember that. But it is Cameroon that score first in the first half with their only shot on target in the first half. They were very, very poor in the first half with that extra man. There was no pace to the game. It was very bitty, a lot of fouls, a lot of misplaced passes. But Toko Ntembe, technically, he had a very, very good game. Was very lively. His finish, to be fair, the ball is behind him and he has to sort of stutter himself, set himself. It's not the cleanest strike. It takes a slight deflection and goes in the back of the net. Now, you would think they would try and kick on. Comoros had some more shots on goal. Actually, Comoros outshot on target at least Cameroon 3-1. The goalkeeping is what has kept the scoreline down there. There was a potential shock on the cards, but 1-0 at half time. The second half is a complete opposite to the bitty, scrappy first half. There were some brilliant bits of interplay by both sides, I will admit. Abukia, Cameroon captain, now top goal scorer, scored 6 goals at this tournament so far. Could have had more, but his finish, the pass for the goal is brilliant. It bisects the Comoros defence. But he has the presence of mind and the cheek to do a step over. He feints to shoot with his right, steps over and misfits the goalie and taps it in with his left. That's a brilliant finish and a brilliant piece of skill. But the build-up play and that bullet of a pass that bisects the defence for Abudakir is something the game needed. And this is something that African football can obviously give you at times. You don't often see this, but that was a brilliant second goal. And you think, okay, the floodgates have opened now. Comoros, they're exhausted. They've been down to 10 men since the 7th minute when Abdu, their captain, was sent off. And it is the correct decision in my mind. It's a high on the back of the calf, studs from behind challenge. And we can debate the pros and cons of VAR. There's been a lot of controversy in this tournament with VAR, like there seems to be almost with every VAR decision. But I think in this case, it's a right decision, and they've been consistent in this area with tackles from behind, with studs showing. But Ngangama, his free kick, Oldham fans will remember Youssef Ngangama. That's about 35 yards out. 35, 36 yards out. There is no swerve on that ball. That is a bullet of a free kick. Possibly one of the best free kicks I have seen in a very, very long time. No swerve, no bend. It's just perfect contact and perfect flight, perfect pace, perfect dip. The ball is barely rotating. you won't see better free kick technique, in my opinion. Absolute rocket of a free kick. And we've seen some of the free kicks like Messi has scored, Ronaldo have scored, Ward-Prowse in the Premier League for Southampton, David Beckham in his prime, some Roberto Carlos. That ranks with world-class players of that ilk. This is a guy who was playing for Oldham not that long ago. What a free kick. And it made for a very interesting last few minutes. Um, you know, bearing in mind Ntem being a Abubakar, sorry, has been taken off by Cameroon, so their two goal scorers are off. Um, it made for a very nervy ending, but it's finished 2-1. I'm going to try and watch as many more of the Africa Cup of Nations knockout games as I can. But there's been a lot of controversy at this tournament, and the COVID controversy surrounding Comoros. I do think FIFA are going to be expanding squad rules for the World Cup, and I do think domestic leagues are also going to be looking at squad limits and increasing them so games get played, because the amount of games postponed so far this season is ridiculous. And so squad rules, I think, are going to be looked at. But thank you very much for watching. I didn't go into every single detail, every single save, and every single chance, and every single tackle, because there's been a lot of backstory to this game. But it was actually a very, very entertaining second half. The first half, Cameroon have to play better if they're going to win this tournament. They are the hosts. They've got to be better with possession. They've got to look after the ball better. Movement's got to be better. Accuracy's got to be better, and their shooting percentage has to improve. And the fact that there was a left back in goal, an outfield player in goal, to only score 2 goals, again, a few warning signs there. But this Comoros side, they are massively improved from where they were a few years ago. They're not no-hopers, despite their ranking in the world rankings. And they are very organised, reasonably well disciplined, apart from the red cards. And even after the red card, they kept their structure, they kept their shape, very sound defensively. And going forward, they have a lot of pace. So they're trying to qualify for the next World Cup. That's their goal. That's in their planning and what they plan to do with the expanded World Cup in the US, Canada, and Mexico. But Cameroon, I think they have to massively improve for the quarterfinal stage if they are to win the Africa Cup of Nations for the 6th time. Because that first half performance, with a man advantage, you would think once they scored that first goal, they would just cut loose, and they really didn't. And defensively, they looked very suspect. And it was just some good, outstanding goalkeeping that kept it down to 1 goal. They could have actually lost this game. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you very, very soon.